What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I got a road rage video out of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Shout out. And it's involving this dude right here. Now, if you're looking at his face, and he looked like a scared chihuahua, he's crying in court, which is taboo to me, especially after what he did. Now, this guy was in a road rage incident in which it turned violent when he shot another man, right? I'm doing this video because I want you guys to tell me if you think he should be in jail or not. Me personally, I'll give you my assessment later on. But let me show you this video and how people have concealed carry license and all that stuff, and sometimes it make people feel as though they're bigger than their size. As you can see, this is a small dude. The dude that he hit there, show him temporarily, he looked like a bigger guy. But it's a lot going on in this case, and I want you guys to leave a comment because I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say about this, about who's right and who's wrong. Take a look at this and we'll come back and talk about it.
Information on a deadly shooting in Plymouth after police say one man shot and killed another as they argued about a minor traffic accident. Police say the shooter in this case is a 23-year-old Plymouth man who had his toddler son in a car seat inside his RAV4 when he opened fire on the other driver. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken McLeod. WBZ's Paul Burton spent his day in Plymouth.
Just horrifying, just devastating, awful. Horrific.
What was supposed to be a beautiful night in downtown Plymouth turned deadly after police say 41-year-old Brent Berkeley was shot at the Middle Street town parking lot after an apparent road rage incident around 5:30 Friday night.
Scene is secure. Suspect in custody.
Investigators identified the suspect as 23-year-old David Jerome of Plymouth, who was arrested at the scene.
Witnesses reported hearing 3 to 4 gunshots. Preliminarily, it appears that the victim in this matter, Mr. Berkeley, was driving a Jeep SUV, and Jerome, who was driving a Toyota RAV4, were involved in a minor traffic incident, and a physical altercation between the two ensued before the shooting occurred.
Berkeley, also from Plymouth, was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. According to reports, witnesses said they saw Jerome trying to render aid to Berkeley after he allegedly shot him.
And I park in this area all the time. And so it's devastating.
Peter Litchfield is a longtime Plymouth resident. The deadly shooting happened just off Main Street where restaurants and bars were packed with people eating dinner.
He seemed like a very nice guy, and this is just awful. And it's just, there's so much tension going on.
Police say Jerome has been charged with murder along with various gun charges, reckless endangerment of a child because Jerome had his 18-month-old boy in the car seat at the time of the incident. He did have an active gun license, which has now been suspended. Police say the shooting has deeply affected this community.
We live in a world now where many people have short fuses, and terrible things happen very quickly. They can escalate very quickly. Look at the aftermath. Look what happens. Look at how one family has lost somebody forever.
I mean, this is just somebody who he took the law into his own hands, and he's going to pay the consequences for it. That's all there is to it.
Again, David Jerome faces a number of charges. He'll be arraigned on Monday morning in Plymouth District Court. In Plymouth, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
New details about a deadly road rage shooting in Plymouth as the suspect faces a judge. Now, investigators say David Jerome was involved in 2 altercations just within minutes of each other. I'm Courtney Cole.
And I'm David Wade. Prosecutors say the second one started with a crash. And as WBZ's Mike Sullivan shows us, it ended with a shooting.
Flowers and condolences. That's what remains in Plymouth. These bouquets were left outside of Speedwell Tavern. The restaurant is not far from a deadly road rage incident that claimed the life of 41-year-old Brent Berkeley.
The multiple 911 calls reported that a male party had been shot multiple times.
David Jerome was arraigned today in his murder. Prosecution says Jerome took his 1-year-old son to a nearby brewery. After leaving, witnesses say he began heading the wrong way down a one-way road. It's there that he got into an altercation with a man in a white pickup, the two exchanging words outside of their vehicles.
He said to that unknown male in the white pickup truck something about putting him in a body bag.
Jerome is a licensed gun owner who legally owns 8 guns. Prosecution says at the time, one was on him and another was in the car, both loaded, and continued to drive.
This defendant, by his own admission, was texting on his phone when he banged his vehicle into or rear-ended the victim's vehicle.
That's when Berkeley came to confront him, attorneys saying Jerome warned that he had a gun.
Brent Berkeley did make physical contact, punching this defendant in the face.
From there, Jerome allegedly opened fire, shooting Berkeley multiple times in the chest and abdomen.
It is alleged that this defendant got out of his vehicle at that time, gun in hand, stood over the victim's body and fired multiple other rounds at that time.
Witnesses say Jerome later tried to give Berkeley CPR. Police arrested him on scene, and he is now being held without bail. Jerome's attorney says this case boils down to self-defense.
You know, this isn't a planned thing. Your husband goes out, your husband doesn't come home. They got two people just like that. One's dead and the other guy's facing life in prison. Terrible.
We spoke briefly with Berkeley's boss. He worked for a local landscaping company. He said that he was patient, kind, and courteous. In Plymouth, I'm Mike Sullivan, WBZ News.
That's the story of David Jerome, who, in my opinion, I think he's a dumbass. First of all, you going the wrong way down a one-way street, texting on your phone. They said he rear-ended somebody. How is that? So what, the other car was going the wrong way too? Something sound off with that. But I mean, if that's the case, that's the case. Either way, he going down the wrong way. They got into a shouting match. He tell the guy, I got a gun on me. The guy came, so what? Punched him right in his face. Boom, rocked him. He jump out the car and shoot the guy. Then he shoots the guy once, the guy fall on the ground. He walk up on him and then let loose on him on the ground because he upset because his feelings got hurt when he got punched in the face. Now, that's why I say he need to go to jail. All that crying and stuff is stupid. Another thing is, you took your 18-month-old kid to a brewery. Now, I'm thinking, when they say brewery, I don't know if they're saying it like someplace like BJ's or whatever, where you can go to eat and they sell beer there. It's like a restaurant. I don't see him taking the baby in a bar. But then again, I don't know how it is out there in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So if anybody out there, let me know. Can you take your kid in a place that sells alcohol, like a bar or something? I don't know who would do that. But either way, he acted a fool in front of his kid, letting the gun loose and everything else. Reckless abandon. A lot of times people have these concealed carry licenses and they have guns and it make them feel 3 times their size. Now you can see that guy that he shot was a bigger dude. Should the dude that punched him in the face? No, but I don't know what was said when 2 men is arguing and he told the guy, I'll put you in a body bag, just threatening somebody and make them put hands on you and make you go through with that threat. Either way, I think when the guy punched him in the face, you know what I'm saying? If he had shot him in self-defense, because the lawyers are saying self-defense, not self-defense when somebody's on the ground and you stand over him and let loose on him after shooting him once. If he had shot him that one time, he could have been like, the man hit me, I hit him by accident. His charges would have been different if he was charged at all. But I mean, come on, man, that getting out the car and going up on somebody and doing street justice by just giving it to him, nah. Then you in court crying, that's a bad look. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know why people do this. And like, I've seen this multiple times. They'll go in the courtroom and they'll cry. They act like they sad and all this other stuff. Now they said this guy tried to administer first aid at the end when people was coming around. That's the only reason why I think he did all that. You know, it was witnesses there. Then he tried to act like he was rendering aid. You could have rendered aid at shooting him that first time. Then you went over there a couple seconds later and gave him the business. Now you want to render aid? This whole thing looked bad. When you go to court, and a lot of people, this guy right here ain't no criminal. That's why he cried in court. He think he gonna get sympathy. And they gonna be like, oh man, when you go to court, the court don't care about how you feel, how you look, what happened. They only care about what the charges is and if you fit those charges and what your sentence will be. That's why court, people go in there and think court is different. They don't understand the law. The law is the law, and they push it to the fullest. He in there crying. They didn't care nothing about it. Then they had him in like a fishbowl thing. He's standing there looking stupid on the side while they talking about it. Let me tell you something. I went to prison, right? That was the biggest play out of my life, that I played my own self out. And I learned a lot about just the justice system, about how it works, like especially in the feds with the point system and all this other stuff. And I realized, like, you know, they charging your crime. They don't care about you, your feelings, nothing. And then once I seen that, I was like, yeah, this is one of those things where, man, I will not be coming back. I was one and done, and I was smart enough to not go back. But some people do, but that's neither here nor there with this case. But this guy, I think, was wrong. It's not self-defense. If he shot him once, it'd have been self-defense because the guy punched him. You know what I mean? He hit him first. But you can't be threatening people and then they punch you and then you get mad and take them out. I mean, when two men argue or just when they meet, it's a certain level of respect because it can get physical at any time. This guy right here was doing all kind of crazy stuff. If he was not on his phone and driving the right way and all this other stuff, he'd be home with his family right now. Then you did all that in front of your kid. What the hell is wrong with you? You crying in court? Man, I'm done. Leave me a comment, man. Tell me what y'all think about this. He did a lot of stuff wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.